Most people think that mindfulness is about sitting in silence and meditating for hours. Wrong. It can help, but you don't need a retreat in the mountains or hours of meditation to transform your life. Just a few small shifts can change everything. But before we get into how to apply these shifts, let's talk about why they matter. Because the truth is that right now, your mind is working against you more than it's working for you. You're overthinking, stressing, reacting instead of responding. And if you don't learn how to control your mind, it will control you. But the good news is that you don't have to stay stuck in that cycle. With just a few simple mindfulness shifts that we're going to talk about today, you can take your power back. You can become a more powerful leader, a more successful professional, a happier and healthier person. In full disclosure, I do meditate. I do sit in quietude, and it has contributed to my mindfulness. But if that is not your cup of tea, it is not necessary. If you don't need to sit quietly in meditation, how do you begin to practice mindfulness in your everyday life? First, we live in a world that never slows down. There's work deadlines, there's social media, there's endless notifications. Our minds are constantly being overstimulated, exhausted, and overwhelmed. We think, notice I said think, we have to hustle harder, do more, grind 24/7. But that's exactly what is draining us. The truth is, success isn't about doing more. It's about being intentional with our energy, and mindfulness is the key to do that. Here are three hacks that we can start to use today that are practical, anyone can use, and will benefit your personal and professional life. Number one, the 3-second rule. Pause for 3 seconds before reacting. What this is going to do is help us catch our thoughts so that they don't control us. Because the truth of the matter is, most of us live on autopilot. We react to emotions, to stress, to fears without even knowing it. For example, you get a critical work email and your mind starts to spiral. Suddenly you're drowning in anxiety. This is where you can shift. Pause for 3 seconds before reacting and listening to the chatter in your mind. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Or is my brain jumping to conclusions? Think about it. How many times have you jumped to incorrect conclusions? I know I certainly have. I've had so many moments in my life where I've been wrong. I've overthought a situation, but I've learned to stop judging it, stop jumping to conclusions, and slow down. Ask yourself, am I jumping to conclusions? Is this thought useful? Or is it just noise? Your brain is wired from an evolutionary perspective to focus on problems. This is how people survived. But you can train your brain to slow down and process things differently. Mindful leaders, mindful people do not react, they respond. So for the next 24 hours, every time you feel stress creeping in, pause for 3 seconds, take a deep breath, and then respond. Number two, the power of single tasking. Stop multitasking. We live in a world where multitasking is celebrated. Have you ever stopped to notice that sometimes when we're multitasking, we make errors? We don't always get things quite right. And multitasking isn't always making you more productive, it's making you less effective. Let that sink in. Science proves this. Multitasking cuts efficiency by up to 40%. Wow, think about that. You see, your brain isn't wired to juggle 10 things at a time. It is wired to focus. Think about our evolution. What did we do during the time of hunters and gatherers? You would have people in the community go out and hunt, and they had to be really really focused on the hunting in order to be successful. So, if you're on a Zoom call while checking emails and replying to texts, you think you're being efficient, but your brain is constantly switching, making you slower, more drained, and you really won't remember everything from the Zoom call. And you might end up making a lot of typos on your emails. I've been guilty of doing that, but we can change it. We can be honest with ourselves and say, yes, I'd rather be multitasking, but no, I'm not being efficient and I am making mistakes because of it. When we are honest with ourselves about this, then we can start taking more intentional action. Our mindfulness shift here is try single tasking. Give your full attention to one thing at a time. 5 minutes of deep focus is more powerful than 30 minutes of scattered work. My challenge to you is for one full workday, work in 25-minute sprints. No phone, no distractions, just pure focus and presence. See how much more you get done. And here's step number 3, one of my favorites, mindful gratitude. It does rewire your brain. Our brains have a lot of negative biases. It's wired to look for problems. If you don't train your brain to focus on what's good, it will default to stress, fear, and doubt. Gratitude isn't just about being thankful, it's about reprogramming your mind. Studies show that writing down 3 things you're grateful for on a daily basis boosts your happiness by 25% and improves your overall well being. Every night before going to bed, write down 3 small wins of the day, no matter how small. Our challenge is to do this for the next 7 days. Write down 3 good things that happened every night before bed. Watch how your mindset shifts. Bottom line is that our success starts with our mind. When we control our thoughts, we control our mind. Let's recap our 3 mindfulness shifts that are simple but powerful. 1, the 3-second rule. Stop reacting, start responding. 2, the power of single tasking. Master your focus, master your results. And 3, mindful gratitude. Train your brain to see success, not stress. Which one of these 3 power shifts will you commit to today? Drop them in the comments below. If this resonated, please like and subscribe for more life-changing strategies. It not only helps the channel, but it helps you. Remember, we are building a community together that is committed to empowerment, uplift, thriving, and success. Together, you and I can do this. Until next time.